Hello everyone. So today we will discuss about the introduction to taxation. So at the end of these lessons, you will be expected to be able to define taxation, describe the nature, basis, and objectives of taxation, differentiate the three inherent powers of the state, discuss the aspects of taxation, explain the principles of a sound taxation system, identify and explain constitutional and inherent limitations, discuss the prospectivity of tax laws and double taxation, and explain the set of taxes, escape from taxation, and describe the situs of taxation. So here are our topics for today. Okay, first, let's define taxation. Now, taxation is defined as the process or means by which the sovereign, through its lawmaking body, raises income to defray the necessary expenses of the government. So from this definition, let's highlight the term sovereign. So ang taxation, pinapractice yan ng mga countries, ng mga state na merong sariling government. So, and highlighted din yung lawmaking body. So, ibig sabihin, ang gumagawa ng taxes, nagde-decide about taxation is the lawmaking body of the state. So, in the Philippines, so we have three branches of the government: the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. So, it falls within the legislative department. So, ibig sabihin, ang gumagawa ng ating mga batas when it comes to taxation, ang ating mga congressmen and senators. Okay, the primary purpose of taxation is this, is to raise income para sa expenses of the government. So, based from the definition of taxation, we can say that the nature of the power of taxation rests on three major things. Number one, it is inherent in sovereignty. Meaning, kapag identified na sovereign na isang state, meron agad silang powers to impose taxes. Hindi na kailangan ng batas na nagsasabi, okay, you are given the power to impose taxes on your constituents. Hindi na, given na siya automatically. Pangalawa, legislative in character. So, ang pwede lang gumawa ng ating mga tax laws and regulations ay ang ating legislative department. And we have limitations, of course. We have constitutional and inherent limitations. Okay, let's proceed to the theory and basis of taxation. Ano ba yung naisip ng mga tao? Bakit kailangan mag-taxes? And ano yung basis nila para mag-decide kung sino, ano, at kailan mag-i-impose ng taxes? So first, the theory of taxation. It supports that the power of taxation proceeds upon the theory that the existence of the government is a necessity. So, kailangan daw mag-exist ng government para sa isang organized society. And with that, hindi naman pwede na wala siyang pondo para magawa niya yung kanyang purpose. For that theory, based on that theory, naisip nila na mag-compel ang citizens and property na mag-contribute para sa expenses ng government. Pero ang tinutukoy dito expenses ng government ay yung mga for public purposes. Basis. The basis of taxation is found on the reciprocal duties of protection and support between the state and its inhabitants. So, ibig sabihin, inisip nila na ayan, may duty ang state na protektahan yung mga tao. So, yung mga tao dapat din mag-contribute sa expenses ng government. So, kapag sinabi nating basis, ito yung dahilan ay yung way nila para ma-identify kung sino, ano ang itatax. So, based from that, we have what we call the benefits received or reciprocity theory. So we can see in this picture, the government provides public service to the people. In exchange, the people will pay taxes to the government. So from that, mamimit yung definition ng taxation na it is raised for the government to raise funds for its public service. So, tinatawag din siya na doctrine of symbiotic relationship. Okay, objectives of taxation. Bakit ba kailangan mag-tax? Number one, it is to raise revenue for the government. So, kung walang taxation, walang pondo ang government para magpatayo ng mga schools, magpagawa ng mga kalsada, and other services. Another objective is it mitigates undesirable economic and social conditions already existing. So sa Philippines, meron tayong tinatawag na prospective taxation. Ibig sabihin, 'pag mas malaki yung kita ng tao, mas malaki yung tax na kailangan niyang bayaran. So, ito yung nami-meet niyang objective. It provides incentives for certain desirable activities. So, ang government minsan nagbibigay sila ng tax tax exemptions para sa mga specific businesses. O halimbawa dito sa lately meron silang ginawa na free daw yung taxes ng mga micro business enterprises para i-promote yung pagnenegosyo sa mga marginalized society. Now let's proceed to the purposes of taxation. We have the primary purpose and secondary purposes. So based from the definition of taxation, its primary purpose is to provide funds or property with which to promote the general welfare and protection of its citizens and to be able to finance its multifarious activities. So ang purpose niya is to give funds to the government para magawa niya yung kanyang public service. So, hindi naman ibig sabihin na ang taxation daw is para sa expenses of the government na parang sa administrative. So, yung funds na ginagamit is para sa mga for the welfare and protection of its citizens. Secondary purpose, to strengthen anemic enterprises by giving tax exemptions. So kapag sinabi nating anemic enterprises, ito yung mga naghihingalo. Yan. So binibigyan din naman sila ng tax exemption. So ibig sabihin may mga taxes na no need na nilang bayaran. To protect local industries against foreign competition. So, ang ginagawa nila, tinataasan nila yung taxes and customs duties sa mga imported products para magkaroon naman ng competitive advantage ang ating local products. To reduce inequalities in health, ayan yung ating progressive tax rates. To prevent inflation, ayan, para mabawasan daw yung pagtaas ng mga produkto, naglalagay tayo ng taxes. Pero paano naman mangyayari yun? Paano mape-prevent yung inflation by increasing taxes, di ba? Okay, so we have three inherent powers of the state. Police power, power of eminent domain, and power of taxation. So first is police power. It is the power of the state for promoting public welfare by restraining and regulating the use of liberty and property. So, di ba yung mga pulis natin naghuhuli ng mga nagva-violate ng mga rules and regulations. So, ito yun. Ang purpose niya is promote public welfare by restraining and regulating the use of liberty and property. So, example nito, halimbawa, yung mga sasakyan, hindi lahat ng tao pwedeng magkaroon ng sasakyan. Ano nang mangyayari kung lahat ng tao may sasakyan tapos walang mga criteria or wala tayong traffic rules? Ayan. So, magiging complicated ang ating mga buhay. Okay? So, police power, just like taxation, is vested in the legislature. And it is also an attribute of sovereignty. And ang pinaka-purpose niya, to provide protection and safety and good order of the society. Next, we have eminent domain. The power of the state to acquire private property for public purposes upon payment of just compensation. So kung napapansin nyo, meron tayong mga property na pinasira or pinamove ng government para lakihan yung mga kalsada. So yun ang example ng power of eminent domain. So binabayaran yun ng government para alisin yung property nila para mapabuti yung public purpose. So, example nga nun, yung pag-expand ng ating mga kalsada. And of course, dapat yun merong just compensation. So, binabayaran doon yung mga may-ari ng property. And of course, there is a due process. Diba, siguro nabasa nyo na mayroong mga may-ari ng lupa na hindi pumapayag na ibenta yung lupa nila sa government. So, yan, nangyayari din naman. Pwede namang tumanggi. Pero of course, kung isipin mo, for public purpose naman yun, for public use. Okay? So, ang pagkuha daw ng property, ng private property, must be reasonable and practicable. Dapat, meron talagang benefit sa public. So, here are the criteria or the characteristics of the power of eminent domain. So, there must be taking of private property. So, ginamit ng government yung property ng isang private citizen. Pero dapat, gamitin yun for public use, hindi for personal use ng government. There must be just compensation. So, of course, ang basis na list yung fair market value ng property. And next, and there must be due process of law. Next, let's proceed to the power of taxation. Okay, so again, the power by which the state raises revenue to defray the necessary expenses of the government. Ayan, so inherent, exercised through the legislature to impose burdens upon subjects. So, ibig sabihin, syempre, bakit siya sinabing burden? Syempre, kasi magbabayad ng pera yung mga citizens. Okay, subjects and objects. So, bakit may objects? Kasi yan, mga properties, mga lupa, meron niyang mga taxes. What we need to highlight here is this, within its jurisdiction. So, ibig sabihin sa Pilipinas, ay ang government ng Philippines, ang pwede niya lang talagang i-tax is mga citizens ng Philippines. Yan ang primary purpose, to raise revenue, to carry out the legitimate objectives of the government. So, when asked about the scope of the taxation, ano ba yung sakop ng taxation? It is these are the subjects and objects within the jurisdiction. Yun lang ang pwedeng i-tax ng isang bansa. Purpose, ayan, raise revenue to carry out the legitimate objectives of the government, which is for public service or public purposes. Okay, similarities among the three inherent powers. They are all inherent in the state. So, no need na magsabi na meron kang power of taxation, police power, power of eminent domain. So, kapag tayo ka na ng bansa o isang estado, meron ka na automatic ng ganitong powers. They exist independently of the Constitution. So, ibig sabihin, kahit hindi sinabi sa Constitution na pwede mag-tax ang isang state or isang bansa, pwede nila yung gawin. However, ang pwede nang ilagay sa Constitution are the limitations ng taxation. Okay, ang inherent powers natin are the ways by which the state interfere with private rights and properties. Kasi halimbawa, sa police power, pwede nilang hulihin or kunin yung private properties. Sa eminent domain, binibili nila. Sa taxation naman, magbabayad ka ng taxes. So it interferes with private rights and properties. Okay, all of them are legislative in nature and character. And there is an equivalent compensation, whether directly or indirectly received by the persons affected. So, sa taxation, ayan, ating mga public service properties. Sa police power naman, yung safety. And sa power of eminent domain, yung fair market value ng property. So those are the similarities of the three inherent powers. Now, let's look at their differences. Okay, as to the nature, for taxation, it is the power to enforce contributions to raise government funds. So yung mga pondo ng government natin mainly comes from taxes. Police power, ayan, power to make and implement laws for the general welfare para siya sa safety and well-being ng mga subjects. Eminent domain, ayan, power to take property for public use with just compensation. For the authority na pwedeng mag-practice for taxation and police power, yung government only. However, for eminent domain, pwede daw siyang i-grant sa public service or utility companies. So example nito, yung mga electrical companies or mga water service provider. So pwede silang bumili ng lupa na pagdadaanan ng kanilang mga tubo or ng mga wires. So ang eminent domain pwede din basta sa public service or utility companies. Kasi kung isipin mo, yung buong general public naman ang magbe-benefit sa services. For the purpose, taxation, support of the government para sa kanilang public purposes, police power, yan, general welfare, eminent domain, taking of private property for public use. For persons affected sa taxation, yan, all persons or property na part ng isang community. For police power, pwedeng class of individuals or a certain community. And sa eminent domain, yung may-ari ng private property. As to scope, taxation is said to be plenary, comprehensive, and supreme. So, malawak ang sakop ng taxation. Police power is broader in application and power to make and implement law. Eminent domain, just the same, taking private property for public use. Effect, yan, sa taxation, yung nakakollect doon, magiging part siya ng public fund. Police power, wala namang transfer of ownership or title, but there may be restraint on the injurious use of property. Eminent domain, syempre may transfer of title kasi binili nga yung private property. Benefits, ano ba yung makukuha natin from these inherent powers? Taxation, ayan, form of protection and benefits received from the government. So yung ating mga schools, mga kalsada, mga libreng gamot, ayan. So, part yun, o galing yun sa taxation. For police power, walang direct or immediate benefit, pero, ayan, maintenance of a healthy economic standard of society. Parang indirect yung benefits na nakukuha natin from police power. Eminent domain, market value of property taken yan. Pero syempre, makakakuha lang yan yung may-ari no private property. Amount of imposition, taxation has no limit. Pero of course, we have what we call constitutional and inherent limitations. But generally, taxation, wala siyang limit. Kung anong maisip na or maisip na i-tax ng ating legislative body, pwede nilang gawin yan. Police power, yung amount doon should be just sufficient to cover the cost of the license and the necessary expense of police surveillance and regulation. Eminent domain, walang kailangang bayaran yung may-ari ng property, kundi sila ang makakatanggap ng fair value of the property. So those are about the inherent powers of the state. Okay, our next topic is about the aspects of taxation. We have two, levy and collection. So let's define the terms. Levy deals with the provisions of law which determines the person or property to be taxed, the sum or sums to be raised, the rate thereof, and the time and manner of levying, receiving, and collecting the tax. So pag sinabi nating levy, ito yung pag-identify kung sino ba yung itatax, magkano yung itatax, ilan yung rate ng tax, paano itatax, and other administrative duties. While pag sinabi natin collection, ito as in literal na pagkuha ng payment ng taxes or the manner of enforcing the obligation on the part of those tax. So levy is practiced or done by the Congress. Sila yung nagde-decide niyan kung sino ang itatax, magkano yung itatax. So, Congress, syempre yung ating legislative body. While the collection is practiced by the BIR, the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Okay, paano ba natin masasabi that we have a sound tax system? We have three main criteria or principles. We have fiscal adequacy, equality or theoretical justice, and administrative feasibility. So, number one, fiscal adequacy. So, dapat daw yung makakollect from taxation should be enough para ma-meet or magawa ng government yung kanilang duties to the public. So, kaya di ba, minsan nagtataas ng taxes kasi kulang na yung fund na nakakollect ng government. So, in addition sa pagtaas ng taxes, may mga property or persons na dati hindi naman natatax, biglang itatax na ngayon. So, example, yung ating mga online sellers. Di ba dati wala namang tax yung online sellers? Kaso, ayan, nagkaroon silang taxes kasi syempre nag-earn sila ng income, so they have to give a share to the government and of course for the government to increase its revenue. Pangalawa, equality or theoretical justice. So the tax imposed must be proportionate to taxpayers' ability to pay. So again, ang system natin dito is tinatawag na progressive tax system. Pag mas malaki yung income mo, mas malaki yung tax rate. Pag maliit, mababa din naman yung tax rate. So yun yung proportionate to taxpayers' ability to pay. Third, we have administrative feasibility. The law must be capable of convenient, just, and effective administration. So, another term nito is the benefits should exceed the cost. So, halimbawa, meron kang taong hinahanap kasi sisingilin mo siya ng mga hindi niya nabayarang taxes. Halimbawa, ang utang niyang taxes ay nasa 1 million. Pero para mahanap siya, kailangan mo gumastos na nasa 2 million. So, hindi siya feasible kasi mas malaki pa yung gagastusin mo kaysa sa makokollect mong taxes. So those are the basic principles of a sound tax system: fiscal adequacy, equality or theoretical justice, and administrative feasibility. Even though taxes is said to be supreme, plenary, and comprehensive, of course, it should be limited. So we have two types of limitation: constitutional and inherent. So let's discuss first the constitutional limitations. So ibig sabihin, from the word constitutional, nakalagay ito sa Constitution of the Philippines. So here are the lists of the constitutional limitations. Okay, let me just emphasize this: power of the president to veto any particular item or items in a revenue or tariff bill. So kapag sinabing veto, it is the power of the president to not approve a law. So pag halimbawa ayaw ng president i-approve yung isang tax, pwede niyang i-veto ang tawag. For inherent limitations, we have the purpose. Taxes dapat daw ay gagamitin lang for public purpose. Paano po ma'am pag nakita yung expenses hindi naman public purpose? So makikita yan through audit and of course there will be due process for that. Territoriality, ayan, the state may tax persons and properties under its jurisdiction. So sa Philippines, ang pwede lang i-tax ng government of the Philippines are resident and citizens. So, meron din tayong tinatawag na mga aliens. Pero yun naman, ang tinatax doon is the properties of the government. International committee. The property of a foreign state may not be taxed by another. So, halimbawa, yung lupa sa Korea, hindi naman siya pwedeng magbayad ng taxes dito sa Pilipinas. Doon lang siya sa Korea. Exemption. Governmental agencies performing governmental functions are exempt from taxation. And non-delegation. Yan. Nasa legislature lang ang pwedeng gumawa ng or mag-practice ng power to tax. Okay, yan. Ang inherent limitations, hindi siya nakalagay sa Constitution, pero from the definition ng taxation, siya ay inherent na dapat nasusunod itong criteria. Okay, let's discuss the Pag sinabi nating prospectivity of tax laws, kapag halimbawa may batas na ginawa ngayon, effective lang siya simula ngayong araw and sa mga susunod. So, hindi na maapektuhan yung previous transactions. Okay? Let's proceed sa double taxation. Okay, ang double taxation can either be direct or indirect. And characteristics, taxing twice for the same purpose by the same taxing authority in the same jurisdiction in the same period. Some of the property in the territory. So, halimbawa, kapag na-tax na yung lupa mo, hindi na siya, tapos ita-tax ulit, parang iniba lang yung pangalan. So, it constitutes double taxation. Set-off of taxes. So, sabi daw, taxes are not subject to set-off or legal compensation. So, halimbawa, yung isang taxpayer, hindi siya nakapagbayad ng tax. Tapos, gusto ding bilhin yung lupa niya under the power of eminent domain, hindi daw sila pwedeng mag-offset. So, yung citizen, kailangan niya magbayad ng tax and at the same time, kailangan din siyang bayaran ng government para sa kanyang property. Hindi pwedeng mag-set off. Okay. So, pwede daw bang takasan ang taxation? Okay, technically, pwede. So, we have two types or two forms of escape. Number one, those that do not reduce the revenue collection of the government. And another results in the loss of revenue to the government. So, first, we have dito sa hindi nababawasan yung revenue collection, we have shifting, capitalization, and transformation. So, kapag sinabi natin shifting, ipapasa mo yung taxes sa ibang citizen. So, halimbawa, ikaw negosyante, tinatax ka. Pwede mo ipasa sa customers mo yung pagbayad ng tax. Ang example natin doon yung ating mga business taxes, especially VAT, na dapat tax yun nung negosyante, ginagawa nila, pinapasa nila sa customer sa pamamagitan ng pag-add ng taxes sa prices ng kanilang product. Capitalization. So, ito yung product mo is ika-capitalize mo. And transformation, halimbawa yung i-develop mo yung product para hindi ka makapagbayad, ay mabawasan yung iyong taxes. And those that results in the loss to the government, we have tax evasion, tax avoidance, exemption from taxation, and tax amnesty. Ito pala, okay, so tax avoidance is also called tax minimization or tax planning. So tax avoidance are legal ways para mabawasan mo ang iyong taxes. So, halimbawa, meron kasi iba-ibang klaseng taxes or income taxes sa government, which we will discuss in the future topics. So, pwede kang pumili kung alin ba doon ang pinakamababa ang magiging tax dues mo. For tax evasion, ayan, it is also called tax dodging. So, it is an illegal way. So, ito yung mga inuhuli. Kasi halimbawa, ayan, gumagawa sila ng mga peking resibo ng expenses, ayan, tax evasion. Exemption from taxation and tax amnesty, mga programs to ng government to help businesses. Okay, next, situs or place of taxation. So, halimbawa, ako, empleyado ako, tinatax ang sahod ko, tapos meron pa akong property sa ibang lugar. Ano daw ba ang magiging basis or magiging place ng aking taxation? So, it depends sa subject matter, nature of tax, citizenship of the taxpayer, and residence of the taxpayer. So, here are the rules ng situs or place of taxation. So, pag business, occupation or transaction, kung saan nandun yung business. Kasi halimbawa, magkakaiba yung tax rate sa bawat munisipyo or sa bawat province. Ito yung magiging basis ng tax rates na kailangan bayaran. Pag real or tangible property, kung saan nandun yung property. Intangible personal property, kung nasaan yung may-ari. Income, place where the income was earned. Gratuitous transfer of property. So, pag sinabi natin gratuitous transfer, yun ay without monetary consideration. So, mga libre like donations, pamana, ayan. Ang situs niya is the residence or citizenship of the taxpayer or location of the property. And for persons, residence of the taxpayer. Okay, let's recall. Kaya na ba natin i-explain ang fundamental powers of the state? So we have police power, eminent domain, and taxation. How about the scope of taxation? So these are the subjects and objects within the jurisdiction. For the theory of taxation, ayan, existence of a government is a necessity. Nature, we have ILL. Inherent, limited, and legislative in nature. Principles of a sound tax system, fiscal adequacy, equality or theoretical justice, and administrative feasibility. And for the limitations, we have constitutional and inherent limitations. So that's all for the discussion for the introduction to taxation. If you have any questions, you may comment it under this post. Thank you.